You know it's going to be a fun stream when you tune in and somebody's making stupid lip noises. Let's see if YouTube's going to give us any chit today about bit rates not being high enough and stuff. I, you know, I like to think that our live streams are different in the respect that we ask the important questions. You know, as in the topic of this one, the title of this one. These are the things people want to know. I mean, we could talk politics or current events or sports or something like that, but I want to know if you guys would get in the free candy van. I mean, and I only want to know for research purposes. Hey, Crims! And Jordan's here. Quasar's in. Tom Spot's here. And Jake says, sorry, I only eat generic brand. Aw, grew up poor. I like what I'm used to. So how old, man? This feels nostalgic. I didn't think about that, Jake. Jake says he wouldn't, for those of you who didn't catch it, he wouldn't get in the van if it had the good candy because he's used to the shit. Like those, you go into like a Walmart or one of the big box stores and you can get a big bag of candy, like a 20-pound bag of candy for 99 cents. And it's like rip-off Smarties and and like Bit of Honey's distorted cousin and shit like that. That's true. Now, if you're used to them, you might actually prefer them. Huh. I'm doing good, Lobster. Jello pudding pops. Ooh, Wolverine. I don't think that van has a refrigerator. But the Jello pudding pops that the driver of this van could afford would probably not even be actual real dairy products or anything. There you go. Lunatic BZ says, when I first heard of van life, I assumed it involved free candy. Well, you would think so. Hold on a second. I'm going to see what are they talking about? One of the stream's current bit rate. What is wrong with our bit rate? I don't even have stream settings. All right, where's the bit rate? Where's the bit rate? So it tells me it wants me to switch the bit rate, and then it has no place for me to switch the bit rate. You stupid ass. We're going to talk more about this candy. Don't you guys worry. Got that. Okay. Yeah, got that. Yeah, there's no other settings to be had here. They're full of chip. Here, let me see if it's in here. Come on. Output. All right, they want the bit rate higher. Okay. Okay. See if that makes YouTube happy. Now let me see. Kyle says, "Hi, buddy. I want to watch your recent Family Guy video, but I see that you're live." Well, in my case, it's like see that you're still alive. Yeah. It'll be there for you. It was actually a pretty good one. I watched today. I recorded. Say another time, dumbass. I recorded Bob's Burgers, an upcoming episode. It was very Gene centric, and that one almost did me in. That kid is. I gotta get a good Gene Belcher T-shirt. He is such a freaking legend. Madman says, love that the candy would make even Timothy Leary fall off his ass. Yeah, I mean, judging back, now you guys got to remember, I grew up in an era where the windowless van was like a rite of passage. Every community had them and everything, and they were just, the dudes driving them were just members of the community. Because if you complained to your parents about anything untoward or anything along those lines, it would just they would just go, stop making shit up. So, and given that, I got to have a discerning palate for just which vans I got in. There's a lot of competition back then. I don't want to seem like a snob or an elitist or anything, but I had standards. And then I think about it, and I sit here and complain about how mean YouTube is to me all the time. Like I never do anything to poke them at all. Jake says, I'm used to windowless vans if you can promise me that I'll get in. Ooh, that's not... You know what? Wallman Saab says, I think free Wi-Fi is more fit for the current times. That's not bad. See, I like the fact that here in our streams, we don't just identify problems or shortcomings. We come up with solutions. You're probably right. Free Wi-Fi would be... Wow. Yeah, kid's struggling with his, whatever. Maybe he's playing a game on his phone. And he's got... a lot of times these vans are in lower rent neighborhoods. Maybe his data signal isn't good, or he's exceeded his data. You put free Wi-Fi, he can go back to playing his game. Just saying. Lick says, look, brand candy is expensive, okay? Like, have you seen gas prices these days? True. Besides, I can only fit so much of it in my van without having to get rid of some of the bodies, and that is not happening. I know it's tough nowadays, Licks, running an operation like that, because then too, who can afford a freezer, for the excess? Not to mention the freezer sucks down a lot of electricity. It's tough to be in any type of business nowadays. It just truly is. Or free iPhones. Yeah, but that's... Well, you know what you could do, Goo Monster? Yeah, you could say free iPhones and then just, take a bar of soap if you're an artist and carve it to look like one, I suppose. Because your overhead would be way too high if you're going to actually give out iPhones. We're having a serious discussion about how to operate a free candy van, aren't we? Oh, shit. Classified says, I thought being scared of the van was always a thing. Nah, not back in my day. we're too dumb to know better. And it's just like anything else. It's like, yeah, it was sometimes, all right, maybe the experience in the van wasn't the highlight of your day. We're appreciative types. If you got candy, wasn't a total loss. If it was good candy, but like Jake said too, if you're used to the low budget candy, well, you think the nice van man would keep that on hand as well. We do see ice cream trucks in North Carolina. As a matter of fact, if you guys watch today's Family Guy reaction, you'll know that that's the case. And that's a lot of what brought up this topic of conversation for this stream. I did. Jordan says, Curtis, did you hear about Raw moving to Netflix in 2025? That was a shocker. I say it was a shocker, but the way everything's going with the streaming services, I guess it shouldn't be, huh? I mean, you even got NFL games now exclusive to streaming services. And that's where all the competition's going. Fewer and fewer people have cable or satellite. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Mint Man, good to have you, pal. Grandpa Curtis here. I'm here for the candy. Yeah, if it's Hershey bars and like Reese's peanut butter cups. So you got to put up a little awkwardness here and there. It's good candy. Oh, really? I didn't hear that, Jordan. He said it was a shocker because a lot of people were predicting FX. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was being talked about. Wolverine says, F candy, knuckle sandwiches are where it's at. Oh, we got lots of those when we were a kid, too. That's why, it's funny, guys, and I've told you this before. People, especially in my generation and even older, are always waxing poetic about the good old days and how much better things were. Fuck you. Granted, there were some, don't get me wrong, there were some things that were better. But in general, society was a complete cluster back then, too. When I was a young kid, misogyny was the rule. I mean, women were generally looked at as second-class citizens. Bullying was rampant, and if a kid got bullied and they complained, generally the advice was, well, you just got to learn to fight back. Well, that's not everybody's nature. Some people don't want to fight. Some people just want to get left alone. I mean, I got bullied, but it turned out when I started fighting, I really liked it. But that's not true with everybody. There was a lot of stuff that went unreported all the time that went on. People like to get older and kind of start glossing over the way things truly were. Gamma Free Archive says you got free candy and learned important life lessons. Exactly. People sometimes don't see the win-win in it. I learned to relax. This is terrible. I learned to relax my throat and make eye contact when eating candy. Life skills. And we're always complaining about how, and I've said this myself many times, that schools don't teach you life skills. So you got to go outside the school to learn. We in high schools, you get a lot of subjects that the vast majority of kids are never going to use the knowledge again when you could be teaching them important things about life. Budgeting, checking accounts, getting value for your money in your college in your college decision, throat relaxation, stuff like that. Ooh, Cadbury bars are good. Crimson X. Yeah, Cadbury bars are awesome. You guys know Cadbury bars, don't you? They're the chocolate and caramel they're like little speed bumps all tied together in a bar. I'm definitely gonna be. I'm gonna say I can put this stream on my phone at any time. I can go outside and check. I don't think we have a candy van coming. Boy, as we do these streams during the summer, I got to be ready to put that phone, because we do have an ice cream truck that comes around, and I got to be ready to put that phone on on the stream in a hurry. Chrome says, so further update on Pal World. Nintendo has said they're aware of the situation, and some Naughty Dog and Bethesda devs are calling Pal Worlds out. That's good. That's gonna get interesting. The lawsuits are going to start flying, I think. It'll be fun to watch the see what shakes out. Look Fun says, if candy is Almond Joys and Mounds, you can keep them. Really? I like Almond Joy. Well, I like most candy, so I guess I'm not the good one to ask. I would be pissed if it was, I told you guys before, if it was Bit-O-Honey. If it was Bit-O-Honey, they can shove it right up their ass, because that's where it came from anyway. Bit-O-Honey is nasty. Mounds and Almond Joy are good. Oh, I don't know if I'd put... Tootsie Rolls are good, too, Kyle Robbins. Tootsie Rolls and Tootsie Pops. Because, Tootsie Pops are have that kind of phallic effect as well. Henry loves a lot of candy, but never liked Twizzlers. Twizzlers I got to be in the mood for. Yeah, every once in a while a Twizzler's good. You might want to clip this. I like thick ones. So the Twizzlers, they make those extra thick ones that you actually peel apart. I don't peel them apart. I eat it all at once because I told you I like thick ones. Those are good. Those are good. I like the cherry better than the strawberry. No, I don't stream on Twitch. Woman Sob. I have a Twitch account, but in watching the way the platforms go, both YouTube and Twitch, They both have a lot of a lot of real issues, but Twitch is just even more problematic, I think, to me. My favorite kind of chips, Seth. Um, I don't know if I know we've got a lot of European folks with us here. I don't know if they have these internationally or not. Does everybody have access to Munchos potato chips? I like those, and they're a little lighter. And now I'm an old fart, and when you're old, anything with grease starts to bother you. Munchos aren't particularly greasy. They're light. They're really good. Do you guys have them everywhere? Super Saiyan Monkey says, I was going to clip it, but I'm too lazy. That's why. See, that's why you fit in here perfectly. Never heard of them. Yeah, I was. Rick says, Muncho is what I do to the ladies at the pub. They're like instant potatoes made into chips. That's a good description, Heather. That's pretty accurate. Poor man's Pringles. Yeah, kinda. You know what though? Talking about Pringles. I mean, this is gonna be a fun stream. We're talking about all the good shit. Talking about Pringles though, I like Lay's Stacks better than Pringles, and Lay's clearly ripped off the Pringles idea. You know, putting them in the canister style and everything. But I like those Stacks better than I like Pringles. You never heard of those either? Yeah, I didn't know Munchos are. Again, I have a bag downstairs. I should have brought it up. Who would have knew we were going to need the Munchos? They're like I said, they're very very light potato chips, very thin. TSP Vegeta says, "I'm fat as shit. I'm getting in the white van. I'm with you. Well, we can hang out while we're in there. You know, when we're not busy, we can chat." Gallifrey says, have you ever gotten your hand stuck in a Pringles can? Worst feeling ever. I've had my hand stuck in pretty much anything that can capture you when you're digging for the last of the food, because I will dig to the bottom of whatever it is to get to the entirety of the food. Chrome says, are we trying to make Curtis hungry? That's an easy challenge, Chrome. Quasar says, have you had any Doritos? My favorite is Cool Ranch. Too much cheese for me. I'm one of the few people that doesn't like Doritos. And I'm so goddamn boring. Any type of extra flavoring, spice, anything like that, nope, not me. I'm as dull as it gets. Like you say, like Cool Ranch, nope, not going to eat Cool Ranch. What was it? My grandson loved... is it salt and vinegar? Nope, not going to do that. Anything with any type of extra spice or any type of variety, I'm like, meh. Chili is pretty good. Well, chili, I think, Quasar, there's, within the scope of chili, there's so many different ways it can be prepared. So for me, it all depends. Yeah, I do like, it's funny, look fun, with as much as I am not a cheese eater, Cheetos are good. Now, they're not like some snacks where I could eat them every day, but Cheetos I do like. When it comes to Cheetos, you guys like better the Puffs or the Crunchy? That's an important question as well. Puffs or Crunchy, which is better? Jake says, I have a U of M van. Tell the kids only winners are allowed in. Are you a winner? Oh, Michigan. Crunchy. Different days, sure. Puffs, Crunchy, Puffs. Yeah, see, everybody's all over on that one. You haven't had Cheetos, Chrome? Now, now, have you just not bought them, or you don't have access to them? For those who don't know, Chrome's in Scotland. Do you not have access? Crunchy is less messy, right, Jordan? See, I'm with somebody that said it depends. Yeah, ODV said different days. I'm same way. Which one I like better? It depends on what I'm in the mood for. Puffs Easy Licks? Oh, Cheetos are good though, Big Green. Cheetos are good. Oh, you have them. I'm sure I've seen them in Tesco and cinemas. Yeah, you should try them, Chrome. They're good. They're I think anyway, they're pretty good snack food. And again, whether yeah, you know what, Cheetos are inconsistent though. Have you noticed that we're really getting in depth into these important things? Have you noticed on the Cheetos, and I don't know if it depends on the size bag you buy or what it is, but sometimes they're much thinner than they are at other times. Sometimes they're very thick, and I like putting thick things in my mouth. They're very thick. Other times they're on the thinner side. I actually like the ones that are a little bit on the thinner side there. Depends, you can't eat depends. Yeah, Big Green. Well, you can, but that's a whole other issue we'd be talking about. I didn't know they had those. Quasar says excuse me, I like the organic Cheetos. I call it Diet Cheetos. I didn't know there was such a thing. Huh. Now, I wouldn't want organic, so I want a lot of preservatives and shit in my food. Angel! Yeah, 100% right. How to make Curtis hungry. Just say food's ready. As soon as we're done with the stream, I'm going down for dinner, and I'm getting hamburgers today. My wife makes up a good hamburger. Are they? Lunatic BZ says organic Doritos are surprisingly good. Really? I was surprised the other day. I told you guys before, my wife and I had a couple days away. We went to this casino that's a couple hours from us, and we stayed overnight. And in this casino, Gordon Ramsay has a little food area. It's got several different little quick service stops. It's pizza, a bakery. There was fish and chips, burgers. And they also had, as I said, there was a bakery, had some baked stuff. So I got a cupcake there. I didn't read the label. The cupcake was amazing. All the food was. I got to give Gordon props on his place. The food was really good. Really expensive, but really good. I had this cupcake, and I didn't notice that it said this on the package. My wife noticed it after I'd eaten it. It was amazing, and it said it was vegan. I was shocked that I would like something vegan. But it was good. It was lemon and raspberry. Holy shit. That was good stuff. Gallifrey says, no such thing as too much cheese. Oh, I can't do that. First time I earned money from a summer job, I was 10. I bought a full version pound block of cheddar and ate it in one sitting watching Lord of the Rings. Yow! Now see, that doesn't turn my stomach like if you had said you bought a whole sleeve of American cheese and ate it, I would be ready to puke. I'm not going to sit and eat cheddar, but it's not going to make me throw up. See, now, I can't take too much cheese. Even, again, my wife being Italian, when she would make lasagna when we were up in New York, everybody would, she hasn't made it in a long time because I don't eat it, but everybody would come from far and wide in the family to have some of her lasagna, but I can't eat anything that's that layered in cheese. Lick says you're a popcorn fan of so favorite flavoring. Yeah, I am. That depends, Licks. I do like popcorn. I like it without flavoring. I like movie popcorn probably the best. But if there are certain cheese popcorns I'll eat. If it's similar to Cheetos, I'll eat that. If not, I like the caramel corn. And I'll tell you, I don't know if you guys have ever had it. If you have a caramel corn that has chocolate drizzled in it, that'll make it pop a boner right there. Yeah, Lute says get a block of American cheese and slather it in the greasiest mayo you can find. Yeah, and it is funny how it's just. Again, I'm not a cheese fan no matter what, but it's American cheese specifically. Again, that block of cheddar, okay. I'm not going to eat it. But if you told me I had to take a bite of it, I would. But if you told me the same thing and I had to take a bite of American cheese, I would fight you. You're right. Super Saiyan Monkey says, I like American cheese because it's barely cheese. Well, that's what I've always said about Brax and I love Arby's roast beef. Is it really beef? Sure, they say it is. Who am I to doubt them? It certainly doesn't resemble any other roast beef I've ever seen, but I love it. Angel says, by the way, I met Booker T at the Albuquerque Comic Con. Oh, very cool. I've never met Booker. No, a lot of guys that have not only met him but worked with him and everything. I have never heard anything but good stuff about Booker T. I don't know anybody, and again, I have a significant number of friends in the business who have worked with him, some who are close to him, and I have never heard anybody have a bad thing to say about Booker T. Chrome says, is any American fast food even food, not food product? Some, but you're right, Chrome. A lot of it is it's questionable. Yeah. Yeah, we aren't big on staying true to the pure essence of foods, especially when it comes to fast food here in America. We take liberties. Like I say, we can call it roast beef. We're using that in a very general sense. Lick says, I've never had buttered popcorn. They don't really do it over here, but it sounds divine. Most people like it, Licks. I get mine without butter. That's not something that just grosses me out like American cheese. I mean, it's got butter on it. I'd eat it, but I prefer it without. My wife does too. So we go. Popcorn is it for me. Again, the way they make movie popcorn over here, the theaters do it. The system they have is delicious. That we'll go in and we'll get most of the theaters here. If you get the large bowl of popcorn, large tub of popcorn there, you get a free refill as well. And it's large, and I will go and get that goddamn thing refilled, and it will be gone. Let's see. Chrome says, here it kind of legally has to be real chicken and beef, not pink slime. Well, in fairness here, too, it's just I don't know what the process is that makes the consistency so different. Yeah, hold on a second. Chrome's got a link here. I've got a recipe for a G100. Let's see. What are they? Prunes, mayo, cottage cheese, and donuts. 70s dinner party. Donut prune salad. Can you imagine? Who the hell thought that was a good idea? Prunes are nasty. Hershey's or Lindor chocolate. They're both good, Kyle. I've always been a big Hershey's nut, though. I really like Hershey's chocolate. I give them just the tiniest edge. Actually, the best chocolate I have is not even a brand name. We have one here. We have a candy store not far from us, and Kilmeads it's called. And it's homemade, or it's made in store. Their chocolate is amazing. I have to admit, Disney's chocolate is really good too. But that's probably my favorite chocolate. This little local candy store we have here. Henry says, Curtis, I'm kind of picky too. When I order burgers, I always say specifically I only want ketchup, pickles, and onions on it. I order like that every time. Might just be my autism. No, Henry, because I've always said the thing that really stuns me in going to it doesn't even have to be just fast food. A restaurant in general. You guys know I don't like condiments. So I order my burger plain, and when I order it, I will say specifically, because I know my odds of getting it right are not good. I'll say, I want a plain hamburger, no cheese, just meat and bun. Take the meat and put it on a bun. That's what I want. And I can't get it right. It always either has some condiments on it or cheese on it. It just happened to me. As a matter of fact, talking about that place, the burgers were good at Gordon Ramsay's place where we went. But it was the second try, because I told the woman taking my order, I said, I want this, whatever he called that burger. I said, completely plain, just meat and bun, no cheese or anything. Just throw the meat on the bun. I always say it like that to drive it home. Got our order, was ready to bring it over to the table for us, and there's the American cheese just sliming down the sides of it. Almost made me yak. We almost had a little bit of an issue there. I am actually, believe it or not, I am slow to anger. But when I get there, I am vile. And we almost had an issue because I was very polite to them about it. I'm always polite initially. Anybody can make a mistake. So I got the burger. I see it's wrong. So I brought my wife hers so it wouldn't get cold. And I bring mine back up there. And I said, excuse me. I said, if you remember, I said I ordered this completely plain, no cheese. And the girl there, the girl who took my order, she was very nice. She said, oh, I'm so sorry you did. I'm sorry. And the guy who was making the food was like kind of a dick. He already kind of pissed me off because he seemed like he had an attitude. Older guy, not as old as me, but older. And he comes up and says, what's the matter to her? And she goes, this was supposed to be no cheese. And he just looks at me like it's a problem. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm trying to have a nice weekend. Don't start because it's gonna get really bad. And my wife hates it when I get mad at people or hates it when I do the vile things I do. So he went and he made another one up for me, and he didn't throw it at me, but he slid it across the counter like he was disgusted and walked away. And I took a step towards the counter, and I was about to start calling him out, and I was going to say, listen, you dumb motherfucker, because that's the kind of person I am. You dumb motherfucker. It's not my fault that you can't follow simple instructions. I'm sorry if this ruins your whole day, but fuck you. And that was all on the tip of my tongue, and I looked over, and my wife's sitting there at the table, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna be the bigger man, and I took it, and my head throbbed all the way back because I had held it inside. Curtis gets angry when it comes to food. What a surprise! But that's the thing, Big Green. No, I wasn't angry about it at all. It happens all the time. I'm used to it. And again, I certainly didn't think she did it on purpose, so there's no sense getting angry at her. And the girl who took the order was very nice. It's just this guy, he had attitude from the start. And again, don't take attitude with me because you fucked up. But oh man, it actually when I have to choke something down like that, it actually does. It gives me a headache. It makes my temples throb. We do have a Jersey Mike's, Kyle. Not bad. It's pretty good, Jersey Mike's. Fords in Hell's Flame says, Curtis, I once got super high after working a long shift with no lunch, so I decided to have a burger from a local deli. It not only took them 1 hour to make it, but they also forgot the fucking patty. How do you forget the patty? Jesus Christ. Oh, I would be pissed. You're talking about taking a long time. Brax and I always had a running gag. This was years ago. He was probably 15, 16. I used to do video work on the side before I even started YouTube. Well, one of the things I always did was there was a dance studio that had a recital every April. And I grew to know the ladies who ran it, and they were just very nice people. So even though I had stopped doing that stuff, I continued for them for several years later. So one year it came up, time to go record their recital, and Brax came down to help me. We get done, and it was late in the evening. We went into a Wendy's, went through a drive-thru. This is in Schenectady, New York. We go through the drive-thru, just ordered a couple burgers and fries. We're the only ones there. We sat there for 25 minutes. I was going to go inside and say something, but it actually got to be funny. Him and I are laughing because it was Wendy's. They make hamburgers and French fries. We ordered hamburgers and French fries, and 25 minutes later, we got our food. So that has become a running gag for us now. We always, if we're going to go to a Wendy's, we always have to check our watches and make sure we're not pressed for time. And don't, well, and with me too, I don't know how much longer I've got left. So I don't want to be sitting in the fast food line when I die. I want to be making a video. But it just became a running gag that at Wendy's, it's always fresh because when you put in the order, they start right from the very beginning. They butcher the cow and go from there. Yeah. Chico says Wendy was too busy roasting bitches on Twitter. Yeah. Yeah, that's social media. Wendy's more making hamburgers for fat guys. Big Green says vegan food can be okay. Yeah, I learned that with that cupcake. I was shocked. When it's trying to be a substitute for meat, though, it's fucking disgusting. Yeah, I'm with you there. I tried that once. I knew I was going to hate it, and I was correct. Excuse me, guys. I'm just trying to see what's going on at my porch here. Oh, got a package. Gallifrey says, "Have you ever had a McCangbang? Real thing. It's a Big Mac with a chicken patty as the middle bun." No, come on, that's for real. A Big Mac with a chicken patty as the middle bun. That don't sound like a bad idea at all. You know what I like on a burger is an onion ring, or better yet, sliced fried onions. Oh, what do they call them? Like those onion blossoms you get at a steakhouse. You guys know what I'm talking about at all? And take just some of those type of pieces and put them on top of a burger. Yum. Kyle says Popeyes has better chicken than KFC. Agreed. But Popeyes is not my favorite either. But I do believe, yeah, I like it better than KFC. I like Chick-fil-A better than Popeyes. And we've got a place down here called Shomar's. I love grilled chicken sandwiches. I like their grilled chicken better than any of the chicken places. And we have another chicken place that's real good here too. Well, I'm in the South now. Chicken is huge, especially fried chicken. And the name's gone out of my head. Oh, shit, I can picture the building and everything. It might come to me. That's really good. Willie says, what are we talking about? Everything. Everything food, pal. Everything food. Chrome says, so given you grew up in the 70s, did you ever eat that weird Jell-O thing? The one that's made of either vegetables or meat? No, I don't remember that, Chrome. I don't remember that one. A weird Jell-O thing? No, I'm not sure what that was. At least I don't remember it. If I did have it, it wasn't memorable. Oh, Taya from South Carolina? Cool. Raven says, I like KFC, but it heavily depends on the location. 100% it does. I've noticed that too. It's one of those things that can be the best or worse than eating the fungus off Grandma's foot. That was awesomely descriptive right there. Ah, Grandma foot fungus, nice. Yeah, you're right. I would agree with that. I've noticed too that KFC, unlike most fast food joints, does seem to have a fairly significant difference by location. Most of the places, Burger King, McDonald's, it's the same shit everywhere. But no, I agree with you. Forest and Hell's Flame says, Curtis, you ever check out fat chick porn? No, is that a thing? I've never checked that out. Jell-O was invented in 1897? Gelatin was? I didn't know that. And the way they make Jell-O, you know, the one that you have to prepare, not the ones that you just stick in the fridge. I think that stuff, they could have created that powder, that Jell-O powder in 1897 and still be good. I don't think it can ever expire. It's not necessarily meant for human consumption. That's fair. Joe says Grandma foot fungus can taste good if you season it right. Yeah, seasoning is everything. Sure. All right, I'll agree. Shiko says, I've realized more and more when I actually cook on the stove, I just make a kitchen sink where I just throw anything that tastes good in a pot. See, that's where I actually do miss out. I mean, I can't help it. It's just, for whatever reason, who I am. But I have such narrow taste. There's so few things I like. And again, that's not something I do by choice. I wish I liked more stuff. But it's always been that way for me. Yeah, Big Green. Jell-O pudding pops. Yeah. Bill Cosby knew a thing about his Jell-O pudding pop. And he knew what kind of shit to throw in your drink to get you to interact with his Jell-O pudding pop. Vegeta says, my dad one time ordered a chicken sandwich from Popeyes. Instead of a chicken patty, they put a thigh between the bun. Ah. What the hell? Yeah, that would have pissed me off. Found them. Okay, hold on. Let me check Chrome's link. I'm not. I don't remember what we were talking about. What she found. Let's see. Oh, this Jello. No, oh, Jello. Those Jello rolls things. Yes, yes. I remember. I remember those. I don't even remember what they call it. It wasn't actually Jello rolls. They call them something else. Yeah, they're very similar to fruitcakes. Those horrible fruitcakes that people used to exchange with each other around the holidays. Yes, they're nasty. They're disgusting. At least as far as I'm concerned. I do know what you mean. Those gelatin encased, whatever the hell they were. Kyle says, "Have you been to any restaurants that Guy Fieri has been to?" Well, we went while we were at that casino last weekend. That was the other place we ate. We had a reservation at Guy Fieri's restaurant there, and it was quite good and surprisingly reasonable. I was really surprised by how reasonable it was. As I said, Gordon's place, that was the several different little eating locations all in one area, was much more expensive. Super Saiyan Monkey says giving a fruitcake on Christmas is a war crime in some places. Yeah, but that's what those that Chrome was pointing out. Those gelatin covered things. That's what they reminded me of. Is a fruitcake. Oh, just nasty. Lick says, no, because no veggies belong on burgers. Agreed. The only thing that should be between the patty and the bun is sauce, cheese, no, and more meat. Get your cold, wet piece of lettuce out of here. Now, do you guys, Lex, when you have a burger at your, whatever, if you have it at your pub or wherever you get your burgers, do they generally do American cheese by default? Because there are a lot of places that don't here, but it is definitely the most common. Cheese on burger is most commonly American. It's so gross. Fruitcake is a good hammer. Yeah, look fun. Oh my god, that stuff's so nasty. Henry says, Curtis, you know what is an absolute abomination? People who dip their pizza in ranch. I know people who do that. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. I think that's definitely an indicator of significant emotional, mental distress. Lick says, depends on where you go. Some places do cheddar. Okay, I'm just curious. Yeah, here too. You can, like I say, you can get it with other cheeses. Some places do cheddar, as you say. But it seems like American is generally the default. Gallifrey says, we raised chickens when I was a kid. We were allowed to name them. Me and my brother named ours Colonel and Popeye. Dad laughed his ass off. Mom was not amused. We did too. We had, when I was a little kid. I was probably like, this is one of my earlier memories, 5 or 6. And we had a chicken coop out back. We just had a few chickens, a couple roosters, not anything big. I think I've told you this before. And the one rooster was just mean, like psycho mean. And he would have his good days and bad days. And my mom sent me out one day. Well, not sent me out. I like doing it. Had me go out to collect the eggs. So I went out to collect the eggs, and the rooster went nuts, went ham on me. He attacked me, scratched me up. I mean, not serious, but scratched me up, drew a little blood. So I go running back up to the house and tell her, oh, the rooster got that. I don't think I was crying, but told her the rooster got me. And my mom got pissed. She's like, that's it. I've had enough of him. And my mom goes and grabs a 22. She goes walking down the chicken coop. I'm walking with her. I'm like, holy shit, this accelerated. She stuck the 22, because, chicken wire is round-ish. She stuck the barrel of the 22 through the wire, and the rooster was still going batshit. The crazy fucker came right up and bit the end of the 22. Bit the barrel of the 22. My mom goes, perfect. She pulled the trigger, and we ate him that night. He was delicious. Yeah, I like Chick-fil-A's chicken too. Look fun. I do. Like I said, I found, there's so many chicken places down here. I have found some others that I like even better, but it is good. Jesse Ling says, "Are pizza toppings condiments?" I don't. I don't know, Jesse. Somebody else would have to weigh in on that. I don't think so. I think condiments tend to be more, ketchup, mustard, mayo, that type of thing. Because a lot of pizza toppings are actually meats, veggies. Yeah, Willie says that rooster wasn't afraid of hell. He wasn't. I'll never forget. It came right up there and bit the end of the rifle. Classically, Christian says, "Is that considered assisted suicide with a chicken?" Yeah, he had no fear. He was ready to go, but I'll never. Again, it's one of my earliest memories. I was really little, but she stuck that barrel through there, and of course, chickens are stupid animals anyway. They don't know what the hell a gun is, but he was all wound up because he had already come after me, and he decided he was going to take out that gun barrel, and it didn't work out well for him, but he was delicious. Jake says, the place I cooked at, we did everything from scratch, and the cheese, everything from scratch, and the cheeses were Swiss, cheddar, pepper jack, and provolone. Owner refused to have anything but real food. American is blasphemy. You ain't gonna get an argument from me. Ugh, nasty ass shit. Lick said, went to a place which did mozzarella in the burger, and it was amazing, like a pizza sandwich. I would probably try that, Lex. If the mozzarella wasn't heavy on it, because I can't deal with a lot of cheese. That I would probably try. I would try that on a burger. What? Forged in Hell's Flame says, my grandma once threw cooking oil in my eyes. Now I have varicose veins like Neji. What the hell? I hope accidentally. Big Green says, now you're reminding me of that Gordon Ramsay TikTok where he goes, I'm going to eat you. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And Jesse says, sounds like my dog, only 7 pounds, but ready to take on his 22-pound friend at any needed time. Isn't it funny how it seems like little dogs always have that Napoleonic complex, don't they? They gotta show the world that they're tough. That's what our because we had the Mexican and the Texan, our dogs, before we had the giant dinosaur dog, and of course the Mexican was our Chihuahua, and that's what she weighed, was 7 pounds. When we moved, she was getting older, and there was a really nice woman. She actually runs one of the shelters back up in New York. She took, because it was going to be a lot for her to make the trip and everything. She was getting older, and she absolutely loved our little Mexican dog. So she took her in, and shockingly, she's still alive somehow, because her body was starting. She was old. She was starting to break down before we left, but she just keeps hanging on. Mother Russia. Oren says, I hate cooking because nobody washes their damn dishes. Clean up first before asking your cooks to cook. I can understand. Yeah, I can understand that getting under your skin just a bit. Gallifrey Archive says, you raise chickens. Did you ever do redneck skeet shooting with them? No, but I'll tell you what we did do. You guys will like this. We got, again, when I was a kid, guys, we had no money. No money at all. And we rented a house that actually had been, at one time, it was a boarding house or a hotel or something, had tons of bedrooms, but it was ancient even at the time. And parts of the house hadn't been used in years. It was blocked off so you didn't have to heat it because it wasn't a boarding house anymore. Well, up in the attic, bats had gone in and basically taken over. So, and I'm not exaggerating about any of this, in the evenings, in the summer, the bats would come out at evening time to go out and go look for food. Where they came out was right by a chimney, and there was a big pitch at that part of the roof, and there was metal flashing all up that side. They would come out of this hole in the chimney and slide down that metal flashing to take off. It was like a little runway, and they would take off in the air. And my father, me, because I was taught how to handle guns from the time I was 5, me and like friends of the family, my uncles, my dad's friends. On summer nights, we'd go out there and wait. And when they'd come out, we'd do skeet shooting with the bats. They'd come out and you'd try and take them out of the air. That's the kind of hillbilly shit I grew up with. Kyle says, I'm pissed because the Super Mario Bros. Movie isn't nominated for an Oscar this year. That was good. That was a good movie. DCat 2 Leader says, what are your thoughts on French food? I have such a boring, sad palate that I just really, I don't even know that I've even had anything that will qualify as French food. It's just because the odds of me liking anything, if there's any type of real, I don't know how I want to say this. If there's any type of real difference to the dish or something special about it, I'm probably not going to like it because my tastes are so boring. Oh, guys, too, while I'm thinking of it, please, if you would, don't forget to click the like button as we go, would you please? It does seem to, you guys might have noticed too, it does seem to be making a little bit of a difference. YouTube says it will. We seem to get more notifications now than we were, but I don't know if that's having something to do with it or not, but I'm willing to try anything at this point. Statewide Journey says, love the stories, Curtis. We need you around 30 plus years. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. I don't know that I'll make 30 more years. What would it be, 92? I might just be too miserable to die. The only thing I could say is I have led my life very fortunate in the respect that for whatever reason, my structure and my constitution seems to be pretty solid. When I think back, I've told you guys before, all the things I've done to my body over the years, between the wrestling and the boxing and the other stupid shit I did. And the fact that I don't take good care of myself like I should, and yet I just keep grinding along, and I see so many people and it makes me feel bad. Friends and family that are younger than me having so many issues, and it's like I just keep grinding away and don't even think about it much. For instance, at my size, I shrunk. I told you guys that. The doctor determined I actually have shrunk. Well, get dropped on your head as many times as I had. There's no doubt the spine's going to compress. I'm down to 5'10" from 5'11 and a half, and I weigh 300 pounds. And yet my cholesterol is not high. My blood sugar is not high. How is this even possible? I have a blood pressure pill I take, but that was genetic. Because back when I've been taking that since I was in my 20s, when I was in primo shape, when I was into boxing and stuff, and going to the gym every day and eating right, I still had high blood pressure. It's just a genetic thing, but the medicine takes care of it. But how do you not have cholesterol issues or sugar issues or something like that? I don't understand. I don't know how it's working. We never shot bats, Godfrey says. My dad once accidentally took a pot shot at a bald eagle. Oh, yeah. Whoops. Sorry, officer. I actually am. Super Saiyan Monkey says you're a medical anomaly. I keep waiting because I go for my checkup every year, and I keep waiting to get the bad news. Okay, now you can't eat this anymore, or you got to go on this pill, and I just keep plugging along. Your body works in mysterious ways. Mine very mysterious, Big Green, yeah. But even the things, all the bumps I took and crazy shit I did, and I see all my wrestling buddies who are substantially younger than me going in for operations, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if some of it is pain tolerance because of the redhead thing. Like, both my shoulders are shit, but it doesn't stop me from doing what I want to do. It just hurts. And my wife says a lot of times, and she might be right, she's like, it's because she says you're too stupid to go to the doctor. She said most people would have gone to the doctor for their shoulders by now and tried to get the pain relieved. But I'm not gonna take time off to go to the doctor and everything. When again, I can do whatever I want. It just hurts sometimes. Henry says, Curtis, do you think you have CTE? It's always a possibility. That's why I stay very much aware of that. everybody around me, my friends and family, and you guys, many of you guys know I've come to people here because I spend as much time or more time with you guys than I do with pretty much anybody else. And the people who are close to me here have been told the same thing. If you notice, and I say this for all you guys, if you notice me having a significant change in demeanor, I would love for you to point it out to me, because I'm afraid of that. I don't want that to happen. I'm certainly not going to subject my family to having that happen. So I am very, very conscious of it. But so far, do I get aggressive like that whole story about the thing with the burger there? Yes, but I've always done that. That's not something new. That's who I am. But I do get concerned about it. Nico, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I like stickers. Well, you guys know I'm constantly using emojis. I always liked emojis. I like stickers. Anything animated or cartoonish. It's always been that way. Hey, Gak. Just saying hello. Hope you're doing well. I am. Thanks for stopping in. And Kaiser says, so the new mecha, Bang Bravern, is basically Top Gun with a gay innuendo brave robot. Okay, that's kind of cool. Bravern made a 5-minute speech to the military about how his pilot rides inside him. The title makes so much sense. That's kind of cool. Kyle says, I'm afraid that the Lions aren't going to win against 49ers. The only thing I can say on your behalf, Kyle, if this was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I would have said, yeah, the Lions aren't winning that game. I'm not so sure anymore. The 49ers, the secondary can be beat. If Goff has a good day, that secondary can be beat. And Amon-Ra St. Brown is a beast. That, and I have never been a big believer in Brock Purdy, and I think he's starting to show it. He showed it last week. They should not have won that game. If those linebackers don't drop those easy interceptions, I don't think San Francisco wins and you even have to worry about it. Brock Purdy did not look good. Going Nowhere says, what's the worst sickness you ever had? I've had a lot of injuries, but sickness? I've not had any sicknesses that would be out of the realm of what you would, to me, like minor details. Had my tonsils out when I was a kid. I had tonsillitis. I guess the worst, and it's not that the sickness was bad, it's that I grew up in the Stone Ages when the treatments were bad. Because I've told you guys, both of my eardrums have been punctured because I had issues with my ears when I was young, and I guess a lot of kids have it. And nowadays, if you get the same thing I have, they put these like tubes in your ears, and it does whatever it needs to do, takes care of it, and I guess kids generally grow out of it. No, with me, they punctured my fucking eardrums. So it wasn't the illness or the malady I had was that serious. It's just that, again, I grew up in the Stone Ages. But as far as sicknesses, worst stuff I get is a bad flu. I did have a bad flu turn into pneumonia once. Back when I was working on the garbage truck, so you're out every day, in the cold and everything with a cold. I had pneumonia once, but even that, it sucked, but it didn't keep me down for more than a day, I think. I was coughing for a long time and hacking and had a little trouble getting good deep breaths, but I've been very fortunate with that. Whitney Houston or Aretha Franklin? Kyle says, similar but different. So that's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know that I'd put one over the other. I don't know that I like both of them. I don't know that there's anything I could use as a determining factor to say I like one better than the other. Gallifrey says, what's the goriest injury you had? Not the one that felt the worst, but the one that looked the most gruesome. Oh, easily. It wasn't in the wrestling ring. I think I told you guys the story. It's when I broke my right toe off. Broke it off. Just all that was holding the top part from the bottom part was a little piece of skin as it dangled. And I did that in my boxing gym back when I was boxing in Vacaville, California. But that was clearly the most gruesome looking one. I mean, I've had lots of nights in wrestling where I shed more blood, but actually seeing your toe snapped off is more gruesome and the bone sticking up out of it. Jake says the crazy thing is, if you took care of yourself, you'd likely die younger. I'm starting to think so, Jake. everything is just backwards in my system, and that's not a surprise to me. That's a good one. Cindanella says I came for the candy, stayed for the sex appeal. Well, if you get the right van, you get both at once. So, any interest in seeing the new Ted series? Chrome says yes. Yeah, I do want to see it. It actually looks really funny, like better than Seth MacFarlane's usual Family Guy. Yeah, I do. The reason I haven't watched it yet is I'm hoping I can figure a way. Well, you guys know the schedule I keep of videos. I'm hoping I can find a way to watch it with you guys to, post it as reactions. That's the only reason I haven't watched it yet, because I definitely want to see it. Suchan says, I don't get cholesterol either, but I do get lipoma. I've gotten surgery for it once. The second time I used a home remedy to remove it. Yeah, I've been very fortunate. Now, I can talk about this today and drop dead tonight. But at least to this point in my 62 years, I can't complain. And when I want to go down and hit Bob, I go down and hit Bob. When I go to the gym, if I go out and shoot baskets, I shoot baskets. It's, I'm able to do all the things I want to do. The only seriously nagging injuries I have are the shoulders. But like I said, it doesn't stop me from doing stuff, just hurts when I do some stuff. And years ago when I was wrestling, I also told you guys I tore the muscles loose off my lower back. So that gives me a pain in the back every once in a while. Then when I was playing baseball in that over 55 league, I tore my hamstring up. And that doesn't even really hurt. It just, I can feel it. When I really notice it is if I go out in the cold, that hamstring gets extra cold. And my doctor said, he said, you dummy, he said, you tore so much of the hamstring away. He said, it's thin. So yes, he said, it's freezing on you is what it's doing. Oops. That's why, but even that, it's like, my wife wanted me to go get the hamstring fixed. Like, why? I didn't tear all of it off. I can still use my leg. I'm not taking time off from the things I want to do to save some of it. Especially at my age, you don't even know how much of that can be saved. So I just left it. The whole back of my leg was all black. It looks really cool. Heather says, I got hit by a car as a kid. I get muscle spasms in my back. Ooh, when you have that stuff, you can't let it stop or it will take over. Yeah, that's rough when you got existing injuries or lasting injuries from something like that. Backs, knees, backs and knees are so bad to have chronic issues with. Well, there's no way to baby them. There's no way to allow them to heal completely. If you want to exist, you're going to be using your knees and your back. How many surgeries have you had? I don't know, John. Because again, this is not something I recommend at all. And it's just, I'm fortunate physically for whatever reason I can get away with it. I have had way more recommended to me than I've actually had because I just let stuff heal or heal as best it's gonna. Both these shoulders, I mean, the rotator cuffs are shit. Now, if I'd have gotten operations on them, they probably wouldn't be so bad. But I've had a number of operations, but it typically had to be something like where my toe broke off and didn't have much choice but to get an operation. Super Saiyan Monkey says, hamstring sounds delicious. That's what I don't know if you guys have ever had the enjoyable experience, but when you tear muscles or tendons, if they're a thick group, like in your hamstring, you actually feel them tear. It's not like a generic pain. It's not like getting stabbed or something to where it's just stabbing pain. It's like, ooh, something happened. You feel exactly what's going on. I felt that tendon just rip. And what happened was I did it in one game. I was chasing down, I was playing the outfield. I was playing left field. And I was chasing down a ball that got hit right on the foul line. It was fair, so I'm running after it. And as I ran, I felt that tear. And I knew it didn't tear off the bone. You could tell the difference. I could feel it tore within the hamstring itself. So I ignored it. And 2 games later, I knew it was bad because, again, the back of my leg was all black and everything. And my wife was mad because I wouldn't go to the doctor. I said, I know what I did. And I wouldn't stop playing. So 2 games later, I hit a grounder and there was a runner on first, and I didn't want to get doubled up. So I ran down that baseline as fast as my fat ass would take me, and every stride I could feel it going rip, rip, rip. More of it was tearing. So as soon as I touched the base at full speed, I dove into a somersault. Fortunately, that's where the wrestling stuff comes in. You know how to take falls, because I just had to get off it, because it's like every stride I'm getting closer to having no hamstring left. And later in that game, again, I was playing the outfield, and they hit a line drive out to me, and I had to run in to get it. And as I ran in, I had to dive for it. I dove, and my body didn't go in the direction I dove. It was one of the weirdest things I've had happen to me. And so now I miss the ball, rolls all the way to the fence, and the guy gets a triple. And I had to take myself out because what had happened was there was so little hamstring left that it couldn't do what it was supposed to do. In other words, the right leg pushed off like it was supposed to. The left leg had no strength, so I didn't even go in the direction I wanted. So that's when I had to call it a game, because now I was hurting the team being out there. Yeah, Lex, I'll ignore that. It's bad. I mean, that's not something I take pride in or would recommend to anybody. But yeah, I've ignored a lot of injuries. No more half measures, Curtis. Right, right, Forrest. Kaiser says, so I'm in Fuerteventura over a week now. My family and I drove down to the end of the island, but we went down the end by going through extremely high mountain roads for a good length. Scary as shit. It's funny you bring that up, Kaiser. Going up into the Smoky Mountains to go to this casino we went to last week or a week before, they got a storm, and on those mountain roads, I was shocked. They do not put guardrails up everywhere. And some of those drop-offs are off the edge of the fucking mountain. I was like, holy shit. I drove for a living. In the Northeast, I'm used to driving in bad weather conditions. But after seeing that road, if I have any of my family with me, if my wife was with me, if Brax was with me, I would not drive that road in a snowstorm. And I'm typically not intimidated by driving in bad weather at all, simply because I've driven in bad weather enough to know there are times when road conditions are such that it doesn't matter how experienced you are or how good you are. There are road conditions where you will have no control. And I'm not taking my family someplace where I know that's a possibility and you're just going off a cliff. Angel says, I'm surprised you haven't watched BoJack Horseman. Only, what was it, the first episode or two that we tried here for the YouTube channel? And BoJack Horseman was one of the most ignored reactions I've ever done here. And that's why we didn't continue it. It was just the first episode or two. I listened to A Day at the Races by Queen. It was awesome. Everything Queen does is awesome. Look Fun says, why would you do that to yourself? You know what it was, Look Fun? At my age, it's like, and it's probably the wrong attitude to take, but it's like, okay, if it tears, it tears. So what? I'm, at the time I was pushing 60 years old. I wanted to play ball, and I determined, and it's just being stubborn too, I determined I was going to play, and whatever happened, happened. Willie says, question, how do you deal with major stresses, Curtis? I'm about to start filming a movie and finish college, so I'm worried about everything. Major stresses are just, they get to me like they do anybody else. But I've told you guys before, and it's probably an overly simplistic viewpoint, but as it goes with moods, is the same with stresses. I try and look at it in the bigger picture, and I always go back to, life is so freaking short. I know that's an old adage, but it's true. I don't want to spend my time being stressed out. So I try and put things in a perspective of, is there anything I can do about this? No? Then don't worry about it and I'll let it happen. Yes? Then I'll take whatever action I need to try and alleviate that stress. But if there's nothing I can do about it, it's just a state of mind for me. It's just like, okay, then I'm not going to worry about it. Super Saiyan Monkey says Curtis's mind when he injures himself. If he dies, he dies. That see, I had always thought it was just something odd for me, but I did read that there's been actual medical studies done, and you guys would have to look it up. I don't remember the medical terminology that went into it, but that redheads, for whatever reason, generally don't feel pain as acutely as do others. And I seem to have that to a fairly extreme degree. Because it used to get me in wrestling, like with taking the chair shots and stuff. And I would take several chair shots in a night. And like I say, this isn't WWE chairs where they're the lighter metal and this, that, and the, it's the stuff you have sitting in, that you put around the table at Thanksgiving for the kids to sit on. They're heavy-duty chairs. And I would take a bunch of chair shots, and the guys and, the boys would be freaking out. And I'd come to the back, you all right? You all right? And they're wanting me to sit down. And it's like, oh, it fucking hurt, but calm down. It just stung. It'll stop hurting in a few minutes. But I didn't really, you only know what your own body is comprised of. And apparently, I mean, I feel pain, don't get me wrong, and I can feel intense pain. But a lot of things that are injurious that I've had diagnosed that are supposed to keep you down don't. So it's got to be the redhead thing, I would imagine. Hydra says, I played baseball for a league in Grayson, Georgia. One season I played a game on an ankle sprain. I got on base a few times despite the injury. And sprains hurt. I hate sprains. Sprains and tendon or muscle tears hurt like hell. Way more to me than broken bones. Way more. Yes, Big Greens. Also, they're metal folding chairs. Indeed they are. Indeed they are. Connor says, hey, Curtis, have you ever broken someone's bones or anything else? In street fights, yes. In the ring, no. One of the things I'm most proud of in the ring is nobody in there ever with me ever got injured. Hurt's part of wrestling. You're gonna get hurt. Shit hurts. But I never allowed anybody to get seriously injured. That's a big deal. In street fights, yes. Gallifrey says, I had the cartilage in my left knee eaten away by some sort of bacterial infection. Damn. It was on a cane in college. Canes are actually a great chick magnet. It's how I landed my old lady. That's now there's a silver lining story. That's terrible. Having your knee, the cartilage eaten away by a bacteria. Oh, that's awful. And again, I say knees, backs, they're such a bitch when you have an issue with them. They just won't go away. Henry says, Curtis, what is your nationality background? What countries do you come from? I'm a mutt. Brax, as part of a high school assignment, traced our ancestry back as best as he could. And I'm trying to remember, our side of the family was largely Celtic region. English, Irish. Also they had found some Scottish. A little bit of Native American up in the Mohawk Indian area. From what else was it? Oh, and from my grandmother's side, a little bit of Spanish. Lots. Just an absolute. I'm just a big bowl of everything. Saya says, I had a very awful day. Then some random fucker tried to fight me, so I took him out. That always makes the day better. Kicking somebody's ass, yeah. Super Saiyan Monkey says, most Americans are mutts, myself included. I'm mostly British and Irish with some French, then a bunch of random shit. Yeah, that's pretty much me too, Monkey, yeah. Yep, me too. Califree says, "No, you're not a mutt. A lovable product of a neighborhood indiscretion," as my grandpa would say. Yeah, Royal Rumble this Saturday. I'm gonna see if I can remember to watch it this time. Rick says, "I'd rather not know, to be honest. I really don't want to know if I'm French or not." Rick, so scary. And you know how I feel about that topic as well. For years, we believed that I had a significant amount of French, but it's from my maternal grandmother's side, and they later found, because there were no, back in her day, there were no records kept of things and everything. They found out that it wasn't from France. Her family had been from Spain. So dodged the French bullet there. It's a French bullet. It would have missed. Right, exactly, Jetflyer. He says, well, yeah, bones are just hard structural parts. Tendons and muscles are what have the nerves, right? And boy, you feel the difference. 98% German, Chase? I don't think we found any German. I'd have to, I think Brax has that somewhere. Yeah, I caught that. Henry says my last name is a French last name. Am I pronouncing it? I say Lemoyne. Is it Lemois? I don't know. I don't know how the pronunciation would be. Big Green says, if it turns out there's any amount of French in me, my life is over. It cracks me up how, because that's one of the running gags here. Alabama, because of what they did to my Irish, so I'm always going to rip on Alabama. The French, just because it's fun to rip on the French. But I've always been surprised now, with us having the heavy European contingency that we do here at the channel, how many of you Europeans just don't like the French at all? Oh, while I got you guys here, I wanted to look into something today. I told you I've been struggling to find things to do for our channel members, because I don't like people joining and getting no benefits. You guys want me to let me look. What's the next video coming up tomorrow? Maybe I can give you a early access on a video. I'm trying to think what tomorrow will be. I think it's a Futurama episode. It is. Now, let me see. Maybe I can give you guys early access to this Futurama episode. I've just been trying to think of things I can do for you guys. Posts. What the hell is this doing now? What the hell? Oh, create post. They moved everything on the dashboard here. Community. Public. All channel members. Okay, I can post this. All right. Hold on, I'm going to post this for you guys right now. We'll just call it Early Access Futurama vid. All right, let me get you guys. Now I got to find the video. But I've just been trying to think of things to give you guys as perks. Okay, so it's got to be this one. Okay, guys, more Futurama. I got to admit. Okay. Channel members. Okay, post it. Anbu says, does it rain in North Carolina more than New York? No, doesn't. No, definitely seems we get a lot more sun here. Yes. Say it says, so Family Guy ripping on Alabama would make you explode. Pretty much, yes. Okay, guys, yeah. the good old opening. Big Green. Look, one says French sirens sound like two gay guys having sex. Liz says, Curtis, you need to understand there are no European countries who don't hate all the other ones. Also, don't call me European. Does that seem to be the case? Look, see, I wouldn't know. Is there a lot of tension? Luckman says, hey, good to see you again, pal. A bit of a random note, but just want to let you know that season 2 of Eminence in Shadow is out. Will you consider resuming the reactions for that show on your Patreon since you did season 1? We've got a long list of catch-up shows. But yes, anything that we've done in the past that comes out with a new season will eventually get there. Now, that's why we had the vote. If there's something that you guys just can't wait for an extra season, you're always welcome to vote it in. But aside from that, yes, anything that comes out with extra seasons will eventually get put up at that $1 level. Super Saiyan Monkey, I'm not peeing. You're a peeing. Ha ha ha. Chrome says he's got a lot to see. What's upcoming? Batman, Ferrin, Sunny, and what else? I've got a list of the ones we got to catch up on. But the next thing, well, how many episodes do we have left of Fairy Tale? Don't have all that long to go there, do we? Gallifrey says, would you react to Henry Cavill's Witcher? Was that a series or a movie, Gallifrey? I don't even know. And as far as adding anything else, I just, there's no way I can. Like I said, I'm dying to see that Ted series, but there's just not enough hours in the day. Eventually, I'll figure a way to work that one in. And what I'll do with that one is, if there's not interest in that Ted series, I'll just watch it on my own, just so I'm not taxing myself for something people aren't interested in. But I always like to see, because if you guys like watching along with me, it does make it more fun for me. But yeah, Witcher, it's a series on Netflix, like Lord of the Rings, so good. Yeah, is it possible we could schedule it someday? Certainly, excuse me, guys, if there seems to be interest in it. But for right now, there's just no extra time. We still got 99 left? I didn't think there were that many, Chrome. Holy shit. But even that, when you think about it, so that's what? So we take 20, we generally do about 26 a month. So, 3.5 months or so? We at least can see the end now. Does Wolf still join these streams? Who do you mean, Jetfire? Wolverine? Because he was in here earlier. Would you have any interest in ever reacting, Mikey says, to any Ninja Turtle stuff? Ninja Turtles, did Chrome, you kept track of the nominations. It did okay in the nominations this time, didn't it? That TMNT? That would, again, that's, if I were reacting to it, it would be because it got voted in at the Goosh. Oh, I love the Ted movies. Look fun. I love them. I really want to see that series. The Ted series is on NBC's streaming service there. What Peacock? Yeah, Look Fun says it's on Peacock. Chrome says TMNT does well. I'd say you'd enjoy 03 or 2012. Yeah, because I know it's been mentioned in our it gets nominated pretty much every time we need a new series, and I've noticed it's been getting more and more support. That might make it at some point. Excuse me. And Chrome says, I think once Batman is done, it'll do better. Same with other cartoons. Very possible. And the thing is, too, once we do Fairy Tale, I think, Chrome, we'll have knocked out all of the super long series that are likely to get put in. Because I don't think anybody's going to put Detective Jimmy in. There's no real push for that. So I think we'll have knocked out the real long ones, won't we? As far as stuff that gets mentioned around there, trying to think, because now we'll have obviously One Piece, and we already did Gintama, and we'll have done Fairy Tail by then. I don't think there are any. Big Boss says that thumbnail is insane. Lick says unconventional pick, but I think Curtis would really be into TMNT 2018. It's the blend of comedy and anime fighting that he's into. Yeah, I wouldn't be sad to see that TMNT get put in. Chrome says, "Oh yeah, how long is Inuyasha?" Chrome, that's right. That's a longer one, right? I'm enjoying that. I mean, we've seen several episodes now. Please let Inuyasha win. Inuyasha, Detective Conan, and Pokemon are the super long ones outside Precure. Yeah, Pokemon doesn't seem to get a lot of push. I don't think we'll be watching Pokemon anytime soon. And like I say, Detective Jimmy doesn't really get mentioned a lot. They're figuring Detective Conan has too many episodes, especially because it's still ongoing. That's amazing to me. That is just stunning to me. I know the adventure we went on together watching One Piece, and for Detective, I'll be nice. I'll be nice, Green. Detective Conan to be even longer is just stunning. Big Boss has been binging your Naruto reactions. Good stuff. Oh, that was so much fun. That was the first anime that I watched in its entirety. I had watched a lot of clips of Dragon Ball prior, and had watched, Dragon Ball Z's abridged. That's the first one I watched in entirety, and a lot of fond memories. 193 episodes, over 210 including the sequel. Attack on Titan is my favorite thing nowadays, Connor says. Yeah, I got to watch those last 2 episodes. That's on over at the Goose, that's on our catch-up list too, the last 2 episodes of AOT. Yeah, Super Saiyan Monkey. Fuck you, Thunder. You can suck my dick. You can't hurt me, Thunder, because you're just God's fart. I love that. Yeah, I'll try. I'll have to figure a way I can watch the series and make enough time to get them posted or edited and posted here. All right, guys. Well, I got to head out. This is another fun stream. I'm having such a good time. I know it takes away from us being able to do like movies and stuff, but I really, really enjoy the streams. Still trying to get stuff done to see if we can do a 24-hour stream. I think that'd be a blast. Hopefully we can work it out. But I'll keep trying to keep these going as much as I can. I'm thinking about, what do you guys think too? Oh, before you guys go, let me ask you this while I've got a few of you left here. What I'm thinking about doing the streams is trying to, rather than do 2 streams a day, as I've done, make one stream longer and combine it where we'll have our chat here, and then during the stream we'll play whatever game we want to play, and then what I can do later is I'll just, because that doesn't take a lot of time, I'll clip the gameplay part of the stream out and post it as a standalone video. It just seems like that would be a more effective way of doing things. What do you think about that? About that idea? Doesn't that, Anbu says, yeah, it just seems like it'd make more sense. Then we would do this part first where we just chat, have some fun, and then I'll play something, and because I got thinking, well, then people won't know when you're going to play, but it won't matter because I'll clip the gameplay out, and anybody that wants to see it can watch it when I post it. Longer streams make sense, right? Yeah. Chrome says maybe, but having a clean split from the start might be better. I'm not sure what you mean, Chrome. You mean ending one stream and starting another? I don't know. We'd have to see how YouTube does react to that. Remember, too, we do get dinged for posting too much content, too, because YouTube doesn't like that either. Wolverine says, will you actually listen to chat on what, Wolverine? I don't know what you're talking about. Will you actually listen to chat on what? As far as I've seen with streamers, I think I pay more attention to chat during live streams than most anybody I know of. Yeah, isn't that ridiculous? Like Chrome says, yeah, if you post more than 3 things a day, you get demoted during the gaming streams. What are you talking? Wolverine, you gotta be more specific. What are you talking about? What are you after in the gaming streams? I talk to you guys during gaming streams all the time. I can't, as much as I'd like to have that ability, I can't play the game and watch the chat the entire time as well. I'm challenged enough at gaming. I can't actually do both things at once. Oh, it is stupid, Connor. Yeah, you post more than a few things a day. And that's the thing that would suck is if we were to take the time to split the streams, stop one, start the other. And then what I'm afraid would happen is when we start the gaming stream, nobody's going to get notified of it anyway because YouTube's going to be a fussy bitch. So, we'll have done all that for nothing. Yeah, that's what I didn't understand, Chrome. I'm not sure what Wolverine means. Like I say, you guys have seen, I pause the game, or not even necessarily pause the game, but find pause points in the game to check up on chat. Or if I'm stuck on something, I pause it so I can see what you guys are saying, but I don't know how I could watch it. On the gaming streams, you tend to look at the chat a bit too late, but it may be the sleep time. Too late. Yeah, I'm not. I'm just not following Wolverine. I mean, I look at the chat if I'm stuck on something. You also have to remember there's a delay. No matter how close we get to actual real time, there's still a several second delay from what I play and what you guys see. Connor says, what's the point of a channel on YouTube and when you do stream right after another one, I don't get notifications? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Because Chrome's right. That would probably, in a normal world, which YouTube is not, that would be the best thing. I could have the second stream all set up. I can schedule both of them. Then just stop one, immediately switch things over and start the next. And we could try that. I have my suspicions that YouTube's going to go, no, 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 and not let any of you guys know about the second one. Or they'll let you know the next day or something. Well, thanks, Forge. I appreciate it. I love these streams. Again, we've been streaming here at this channel since streaming became a thing on YouTube. Okay, now this time I really do actually have to go. We'll work on that though, about combining the two. Maybe we'll try it and see if any notifications go out if I stop one and immediately start the next. Because again, I could have everything set up beforehand. It should only be like a 5-minute break. Yeah, maybe we'll have to do that. All right, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. And again, thanks for all the fun chat and for just hanging out like we do. This just really makes my day. And now I am going to go get my hamburgers and probably a lot of other food too, just because of the way this stream started. We talked about a lot of shit that I feel like I need to eat now. And eat it, I will. And I don't care if I got to go into a windowless van. As a matter of fact, I might consider that a perk. I'll talk to you guys later.